Hello. Look, I'm going to show you guys. I'm spying on my kids outside and while they're in the pool. Okay, but that's not what the Periscope is about. Hi, it is Kisha Green and I'm back. I wanted to do a quick scope on why being a professional is a must. Professionalism in the industry. As you know, I'm in the lit industry and I see a lot of stuff that goes on. Some things are good, some things are bad, some things are just like crazy. And so I wanted to just touch on a few things and, bring some light to it because a lot of people, and now with Periscope, Facebook Live, and so forth, hey, it's Mary, how are you? People seem to think that those forums are the platform for you to be messy or unprofessional. At the end of the day, hey, Kiara, thank you, ladies, for tuning in. Make sure you give me some hearts. Tap that screen and give me some love. But no, I want to talk about that part of it. For example, if you provide a service, as people know, I do promotions, I do book reviews, I have a radio show, all that good stuff. If I provided a service and say somebody was unhappy with my services, they have every right to complain, to say whatever they want. Well, I would hope that they would come to me first. But in the event that they didn't, say they use social media, if they're a professional in the same industry, it's a conflict. It becomes a conflict. And what I mean by that is, for example, let's just say Kiara, let me shout her out. Kiara Northerton is an editor. I'm in the industry. She's an editor. If I utilize Kiara's services and I didn't like them, I would not go on social media and tell anyone that her services were not that great, because why? I'm a professional. At the end of the day, I'm a professional. When I wake up in the morning, I'm a professional. So I would never go and blast her for her services not being up to par. I would basically talk to Kiara or whomever offline. I'm somebody who likes to talk on the phone. Get you on the phone, if we can meet up, even better. But what I'm not going to do is utilize social media to engage in conflict. It's not productive and it's messy. And at the end of the day, people are looking at you as you're not being a professional. Now, if Kiara said she went and said something about me, that's going to say a lot for her and her business, because now potential clients are going to look at her like she's messy. And this happens all the time on social media. As soon as someone has a gripe with someone, we don't talk to the person anymore. We go directly to social media. And last time I checked, Facebook isn't cutting a check. Neither is Periscope. So you need to use effective communication. And if effective communication does not work, still, you have to remain a professional, because if I jumped out of the birthday cake and attacked someone because they attacked me, I would get nowhere. I would get nowhere at all, because what that would do is it has people looking like, wow, is she a professional? Or I don't want to use her. Like if I go out right now and do a Facebook Live talking about people in the industry, don't use that editor, don't use that graphic designer, you're going to be like, why is Kisha doing this? It's one thing to, be a consumer beware, but it's also a whole nother thing when you're being malicious with it, when you're intending to hurt someone purposely. That's different than, definitely, trying to warn someone. And I just see it happen all the time. And what I am noticing after being in the industry for 10 years is that the new breed of authors, they like to do that type of thing, and it's becoming more popular for them to air their grievances out on Facebook or any other social media platform. I mean, it's one thing, okay, say something happened at a McDonald's and you didn't get enough fries or whatever, and you wanted to tell them on Facebook, hey, you didn't give me any cheese on my quarter pounder or whatever. But it's a whole nother thing to be sitting there and just being rude, being disrespectful. I had an incident today where it could have been prevented. I looked at it and it was like a train wreck, and it's just like, wow, why would these things occur? But at the same time, I can't control everyone. You can't control everyone, but you can control yourself and what you choose to engage in, because believe it or not, people may not speak on social media, but they are watching you. They are seeing if you provide a service, trust and believe they watch what you post and how you interact online. I can tell you as a person who's seeking services for people to, as I'm outsourcing, I do it. I pay attention. And it's not always what I'm saying, it's what I'm not saying. So it's just one of those things where you definitely you never know who's watching you. So do you want to be viewed as the person who's not professional? I always say this. You can't be online Monday and Tuesday complaining about this, that, and the third. Then on Wednesday, buy my book, buy my book. You know, it's one or the other. You're either going to be on one side, one side of the fence or the other. You can't just continue and just be unprofessional. You can't. It's not going to get you anywhere, and it's going to get people looking at you sideways. And I look at things that go on and they could be resolved if people communicated and just went to your source. But a lot of people, they want to avoid confrontation, so they think that Facebook gives them a platform. A platform for what? Because the only people that are going to agree with your unprofessionalism are people who are just as unprofessional as you. Remember, birds of a feather stick together. So trust me, the people who are egging you on to do that type of stuff is definitely the ones that you don't want to be around. You have to surround, like I did my scope yesterday about branding. That's part of your brand, your person. You want to carry yourself 100%, like always on point. I understand that we're not perfect, but what I do know is that if you attack Kisha Green is never going to respond to you. Why? Because I'm a professional. I'm my brand. That's right. Tamara just said, Allison just said it. I'm my brand. So if I respond to you, guess what happens? I have to stop being a professional and then attend to you attacking me. And what is that going to do? Is it going to sell me any books? Is it going to get me any more clients? No, it's just going to have a bunch of people in a chitlin circuit looking like just waiting like a tennis match. Ping pong, ping pong. You said this. She said that. She said this. You said that. And that's all that's going to be happening. And all of these people that are watching, they're not buying your book. They're not clicking like. They're not supporting anything that you do, but they are judging you in the background. And you can always tell when people are talking about you in the background when you start getting this influx of friend requests. I'm trying to tell you, it happens like clockwork. People are talking about you. And it's like, some people say, oh, well, let them talk. Let the haters be my motivators. Nope. I'm an optimistic person. I don't need no negativity around me. So no, you can keep that unprofessionalism over there to the left, to the right, wherever. Just get it away from me because life is too short and I'm not about to entertain any foolishness. Now, let me just say, if you attack my family, that's something different. But just some nonsense, no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do that. So I encourage everyone, this is your brand. This is who you are. Be a professional at all times. And a professional does not mean perfect. It just means that you value the reputation that you are trying to build in this industry a little bit more than just being right. Take your ego off the table and just do it. Just live life. But a lot of times we get engulfed with feelings and emotions. It's like, oh, but I'm right. I got to prove a point. You don't have to prove a point to anyone. Just remain true to self. And a lot of times you will get the benefits of that where people will work with you because what? They'll say, she's always a professional. She's always smiling. She's always this. All of these good traits, not about, you don't want people to say, I like her, but she messy as hell. I like her, but she's always in some shit. I like her, but it could be better. You don't want any of that. You do not. And so it's like, whatever. And definitely, KL is saying, don't mention someone's name if you haven't spoke to them first and attempt to fix an issue. Absolutely. If I have a problem with KL, me talking to Kiera is not going to solve my problem with KL. I need to speak to KL directly. That's the rule of thumb with anything. So if you have hired someone to do a service and they have not performed to the best of what you were expecting, speak to them directly. Talking to everyone else about it is not going to solve it. Because at the end of the day, if you want it to be resolved, you have to talk to those person. So if you didn't get a good edit job, speak to the editor that you hired directly. No middleman. That's what needs to take place. If you didn't like the promotions that a promoter did, speak to them directly, because as you talk about them to other people, it's not going to do anything, and it's not going to make things better. It's just going to get people pissed off. And then you also have to be careful when you're on Facebook mentioning people's names, attempting to blast them and be unprofessional. Those things can be viewed as slander. So be careful what you say about someone online, because it ain't nothing for someone to get a lawyer and bring you up on some trumped up allegations of slander. And slander, if you're not sure what it means, you're sitting there like, I didn't know that or whatever. But no, slander in the sense of I can't go up there and say that KL Belvin is full of crap and he's the worst editor, he steals money, he does all of these things that I'm alleging, and I have nothing to back it up. So I can't get up there and I continue to do this on social media. Not only am I bullying him into trying to provoke him to say something back to me, I'm slandering his name, because it doesn't matter if he never stole a dime from me. All people are going to remember is that Kisha Green accused him of it. It's just like a rapist, a man being accused of rape, and then they find out so many years that he didn't do it. It's already out there, the damage. So you say it, but you have to prove that you were damaged. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to prove it. So if you said that someone robbed you, prove it. But again, you don't need social media to do that. And you should not be using social media to conduct your court, your little judge and jury. Speak to the person directly offline. That's what adults do. That's what professionals do. Some people might disagree with me, because I saw a post, and I saw a post earlier today where someone said, well, yeah, initially I didn't want to put people on blast, but I wish somebody would have told me about something before and put somebody on blast, or I wouldn't have made the mistakes that I made. That goes back to my original literary jewel, is research. Before you utilize anyone, research. Referrals are good, but research. Ask for references. Stop being afraid. If someone is offering you editing services, ask for references. Ask. There's nothing wrong with it. So it's just like you're just crying over some stuff that could have easily been prevented. And it's no one's job to go out there and put a catalog of the worst editors in the industry, the worst graphic designers, and you can go there and look and see. No, and no one's going to do all of that. But if you ask around and you check references, you will find out that that person wasn't a good editor, a promoter, whatever the case may be. Keyword, yes, Mara, research. Like you have to. And so, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Professionalism. I mean, how do you think, let me ask you guys that are watching, do you think if someone attacks you, you do have the right to defend yourself? Let's see. Okay, Mahogany says it's not a bad look on them, but on you. Yes. KL, also remember, because someone had issues with you doesn't mean it will be the same for you. Of course. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, I've had plenty of working relationships with people in the industry that people warned me about. And it's like, wow, okay, thank you for the heads up, but I haven't experienced that with them. But there are some people who gave me heads up on some people, and they were right on the money. And it's like, wow, you weren't lying. So it works. But again, you have to be a professional about it. You don't have to jump out the birthday cake and say, well, KL told me don't do business with Susan because Susan be stealing money because she got a secret drug addiction. That right there is nobody's business, and it's not professional. So keep that stuff off of social media. When people go to your timeline, they should get a sense of who you are and your brand. And they shouldn't think of ratchet, messy, any of those words to describe you. So it's definitely, so you want to remain a professional at the end of the day. Hey, Joy, you want to remain a professional. So if you feel that you're being pushed into a corner and you don't know if people are going to act out or respect what your opinion, again, speak to them directly and take it off of Facebook, the inbox, get a phone number, call them call them directly. That's what we have telephones for. Call them, get your gripe out with them and let it be resolved, because guess what? Once it gets resolved And if you went on Facebook or whatever platform and you resolved the problem, guess who looks stupid now? Now you're up there chummy, but you were just beefing a minute ago. For what? So, it's just, exactly. Too many folks are chatting for no reason. Talk is cheap. You want drama? Keep it in the books. That's what I say. I limit my drama to my books that I want you to purchase from my website at www.divabooksinkonline.com. That's what I want. I want to keep the drama there. That's where it's supposed to be at. So at the end of the day, I'm just, you just remain a professional. That's all you can do. And guard your brand and your name. Guard it with your life. For your life. It's too important, because once someone tries to damage you, it's a hard time of recovery trying to bounce back from it. Because you can deny it, you can make a public post about it. But again, your name is your name at the end of the day. That's it. So, right, spending 3 hours beefing could have been hours selling books. Exactly. My name is my name, damn it. That's right. Marlo from The Wire. For real. That's what it all boils down to. So make sure that you check references, you remain a professional, and if you have a bad experience with someone, speak to them directly. You don't have to use social media or get up there on a soapbox and get people to cheer you on, because again, them cheering you on is not going to put any more money in your pocket. It's not going to change the circumstances. All it is going to do is have people sitting there looking at you, laughing at you, because they might be laughing on that post, high-fiving you, but they are in the background talking about you too. Like, look at her, look at him. So it's crazy. It's bringing you down, trying to bring down another. That's free promotion. That's crazy. It's just crazy. So I just laugh because it's sad at the same time, because you just know that they're so talented. There's a lot of talented people out there, but you don't really get to see that shine from them because they spend a majority of their time being unprofessional. And one of the other things I want to mention is, if you are an author and say, for example, you want it to be with the majors or with a major publishing house, you please know that those publishing houses, they do have people that are on social media who just sit and watch. So you might blow an opportunity to take your career to the next level because you're being messy. And they're looking to see what you post. They're looking to see what you interact on. So don't think that these friend requests that you get and they don't ever say anything, they have a job and they want to see what's going on. And it's the same thing with someone who might be scouting you for whatever, so I always have to be mindful of what I'm saying on my post. Don't get me wrong, it's not scripted. I'm being me, but I do know someone is watching, because I get tons of emails and inboxes of people who do want to work with me. And the first thing they say is, "Oh, I was watching you," or "You came highly recommended." My one client that I have, and we've been working together for about 2.5 years, I asked him, how did he find me? And he told me, he goes, "I watched you for 1.5 years before I even said anything to you. And I liked your work ethic and your grind." Perfect. Your work ethic and your grind. That's wonderful. And that's because you have to be a professional. Do you think in my 10 years in this industry, someone didn't have a problem with me or didn't like me or I didn't like them? Absolutely. We're human. We don't get along with everything, but it's how you carry yourself. And that's the one thing where you'll never get a reply from me for ignorance. It's not. I'm just not doing it, because I have a brand to protect. I have myself to protect, and the people that are affiliated with me to protect, and my business relationships, because I don't want the people I work with in the industry to ever question why they made the choice to work with Kisha Green in the first place. So guard your brand and your everything under that umbrella. Guard it. Because people will come, all the time people say misery loves company. So stay away from it. Protect it. Yeah. Yep, it's like children being supervised. So yeah, that's all. I just wanted to touch base with you guys and tell you that professionalism is a must. You must remain a professional. Don't let anyone steal your joy. Don't let anyone take you off of your professional square. Okay? Just because someone says your name or calls you out does not mean you have to reply. The best revenge is what? Success. So continue to do you. You think for like, look at people in higher powers, your Jay-Z's and, your Beyonce's, people. How many people talk about Jay-Z or whomever? Does he reply to it? Absolutely not. His wife does. And guess what? When she replies, she laughs all the way to the bank. So make it work for you, but you still don't have to come off your square and be anything but a professional. So I want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in today to my Periscope. I am enjoying these midday Periscopes. And again, if you have a topic you want me to discuss, hit me up and we will talk about it. And yeah, exactly, Mahogany. Every act doesn't require a response. Once you speak, KL says, once you speak negative about me, you're like, Frito, Corey, Michael. Oh my goodness. See, I can't mess with you too much. But yes, thank you guys. Thank you for the love and the hearts. And I will see you guys later. Look, I'm trying to and now I can't end this. I can't end the scope. I need help. Bye.